Hey everyone, welcome to the 6th episode of the Bioterminal Classroom. So in this episode, I will teach you how to use the 40-pin GPIO header on the Bioterminal and the two grow ports to communicate with sensors. So we will mainly use digital sensors and analog sensors to communicate with the Bioterminal in this video. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Let's look at what we're going to learn today in this episode. So I will start by giving a brief introduction about the inputs and outputs on the Bioterminal along with the 40-pin Raspberry Pi header and the two grow ports. Later I will teach you how to communicate with sensors and modules using Bioterminal. And in here I will only use digital and analog communication methods because in my next video I will talk about I2C, SPI and serial communication methods. So in digital communication I will teach you what digital signals are, and then I will use the Bioterminal with the Grove ultrasonic distance sensor to show the distance information on the Bioterminal LCD. Later I will talk about the analog signals, what they are, and use the Bioterminal with the Grove 3-axis analog accelerometer to show the accelerometer data on the Bioterminal LCD screen. If you look at the back of the Bioterminal, you can see a 40-pin GPIO header like this, and this GPIO header is broken out from the ATSAM D51 chip, which is the main controller of the Bioterminal. This GPIO header takes the same format as the Raspberry Pi, and if you want to use these headers, you can simply use these names, the defined pin names, in your Arduino code. Also, you can see that some pins are multifunctional. For example, this pin 13 can have both digital and analog signals. So when you connect a digital sensor to this pin 13, you need to define it as D0 in your Arduino code. And when you connect an analog sensor to pin 13, you need to define it as A0 in your Arduino code. So you have to keep this in mind. Also, if you want to know more about these pins, you can visit the variant.h library. So to visit that library, you can search it in the search bar, or else go to this location and find here as variant.h. So once you open it, you can see all the pins defined in this library. So the digital pins are defined here from D0 to D8, and the analog pins are defined here as A0 to A8, and all the other pins are also defined in this variant.h library file. So now let's look at the Grove ports on the Bioterminal. So the Bioterminal has two Grove ports, one port being a default I2C port and another port being a configurable digital analog port. So the default I2C port can be used as a digital port as well, and the configurable digital analog port can be used for PWM outputs as well. So if you look closely at these Grove ports, you can see that these pins are connected internally to the 40-pin GPIO header. So when you connect a sensor to this digital analog port, you need to make sure that you don't connect anything to pin 13 and 15 on the 40-pin GPIO header, because the pin 13 and 15 will be occupied by the digital or analog sensor that you connect to this port. But if you want to connect an I2C device to this port, you can still connect your I2C sensors to pins 3 and 5, because I2C can accept many devices on a single bus, and every device which are connected to the I2C connection will be identified by the I2C address of that device. So here you can see that these are the internal connections of the Grove ports. Now let's look at how to communicate with sensors and modules using Bioterminal. So I will start by explaining you how to use digital sensors to connect to the Bioterminal. So before using digital sensors with Bioterminal, I will explain you what digital signals are. Digital signals are discrete signals which are time varying, and the data in digital signals is carried in the form of binary, so it can only have values 0 and 1. So basically in digital signals, a 0 represents an off state and a 1 represents an on state. Also, digital signals have amplitude, frequency and a phase. So now let's move on to Grove digital sensors. So before we talk about this, I told you that there are two Grove ports on the Bioterminal, and I also told you that you can connect Grove sensors into these Grove connectors. So Grove sensors are sensors that have these connectors, the onboard connectors with 4 pins, and this connector is called a Grove connector. So these connectors can be easily connected with development boards like the Vio terminal using the 4-wire cable. So these Grove sensors are Grove digital sensors. So all these sensors use digital communication methods to communicate with a development board. So if you want to learn more about Grove sensors, you can visit our Grove homepage. I will attach this link in the video description down below so that you can visit this page and have a look at all our Grove modules that we offer. So these Grove modules are categorized into different categories according to their functions, and you can easily choose your Grove module that you want to use in your project. So now let's go ahead and use Vio terminal with the Grove ultrasonic distance sensor to show the distance information on the LCD screen of the Vio terminal. So first, let's start by connecting the Grove ultrasonic distance sensor to the digital analog port on the Vio terminal. After that, we need to set up the software necessary to use the ultrasonic sensor with the Vio terminal. So let's go ahead and download this ultrasonic ranger library from GitHub. So I will give a link to this URL in the video description, and after that download it as a zip file. Then open Arduino and go to Sketch, include library and add .zip library, and go to the location where you just downloaded the library. So this is the library I just downloaded. So select open. So here it says the library added to your libraries, which means you have successfully added the ultrasonic sensor library into the Arduino IDE. So now let's start writing our codes. So first I will start by initializing the LCD screen. So I will include the LCD screen library. So tft espi.h, and then I will include the library that we just installed, the ultrasonic distance sensor library. So ultrasonic.h. After that I will initialize the TFT LCD library. Then I will create a buffer just like I did with the line chart example. TFT esprite, and so when I create a buffer like this, what it will do is the code will go to the buffer, and then the buffer will push the code to the LCD. So in this way the code will run much faster. So now let's move on to initializing the pin that we are going to use with the ultrasonic distance sensor. So ultrasonic, and here I will write it as D0 because before we connected the ultrasonic distance sensor to this port. So this port is connected to D0 and D1 internally, and I will use the D0 port to communicate between the ultrasonic sensor and the Vio terminal. So now let's move on to initializing our code inside the setup. So let's start by initializing the TFT LCD screen. So tft.begin, and then let's set the rotation, tft.set rotation, and set it as 3. And after that let's create the buffer, spr.create sprite, tft height, and tft width. So this is the height and width of the Vio terminal. This is going to be 320 and 240, and it's already defined inside this library. After that, let's go ahead and start writing our codes inside the loop. So I will first fill the screen in black color. So spr.fill sprite. We use fill sprite command because we are using the buffer. So tft black. After that I will set the text size, spr.set text size, and I will set it as 2. After that I will set a text color, spr.set text color, and set it as yellow. Then I will draw a string, spr.drawString. I will draw it as distance to object, and the location I will use it as 55 and 10. So 55 in x direction and 10, so 55 in x direction and 10 in y direction. So somewhere around here it will draw distance to object. After that I will draw a horizontal line. So draw fast edge line from 40, 35 and 240 pixels long, and I want the color to be dark gray. After that I will change the text color to white. spr.set text color, set it to white, tft white. And now I will draw another string, spr.drawString, and set it as centimeters. So this is where we are going to show the distance to the object in centimeters, and I would like to be at x20 and y50 location. After that I will draw another string, drawString, to show the distance in inches, so inches, and the location will be 20, 80. After that type spr.drawNumber. So this is to grab the distance information from the sensor. So ultrasonic dot measure in centimeters, and the location I want to be 200 x location and 50 y location. So what this will do is, this ultrasonic dot measure in centimeters will grab the distance information in centimeters and display on the LCD screen. After that I will add a delay of 50 milliseconds. This is necessary because I'm going to display the measurement in inches after this, and there should be a small time difference between obtaining the data from the ultrasonic distance sensor. So spr.drawNumber and ultrasonic dot measure in inches. So this will grab the data and output in inches, so 130 and 80 y location. After that let's type spr.push sprite to push this from the buffer to the LCD screen, and let's add a delay at last of 500 milliseconds. So now let's go ahead and upload this code to the board and see the result on the LCD screen. So now let's see how to use the Grove I2C port as a digital port. So if you guys can remember, I explained to you before, the default I2C port can be used as a digital port as well. So now let's go ahead and see how we can do that. Let's connect the ultrasonic sensor to the I2C port on the VAIO terminal first. And then let's go back to our code and change this pin to pin via SCL. So here what we are doing is we are defining the SCL of the I2C port as a digital pin. So now let's upload this code to the board and see the result on the screen. Now let's talk about analog signals. So analog signals are continuous signals which are time varying. So unlike the digital signals where they were discrete, like they had only 1 and 0 values, analog signals can have any value and it takes the form of a sine wave like this. So just like the digital signals, analog signals also have amplitude, frequency and a phase. So now let's look at the different Grove analog sensors that we offer. So these are the many different analog sensors that we offer in the Grove family. Now let's move on and use Vio-terminal with the Grove 3-axis analog accelerometer to show the accelerometer data on the LCD screen of the Vio-terminal. So this is a Grove module with the Grove form factor, but it doesn't have a Grove connector because it needs 5 pins for the communication, and a normal Grove port only has 4 pins. So you need to solder 5 wires into these before you connect the Grove 3-axis analog accelerometer with your Vio-terminal. So let's take a jumper wire first and cut it from one end and then solder it into the accelerometer. So you can follow the same way for 4 more jumper wires and solder them onto the accelerometer. After that, you can follow this diagram to connect the 5 jumper wires coming out from the Grove accelerometer into the 40-pin GPIO header of the Vio-terminal. Now let's move on to setting up the software necessary to use the Grove accelerometer with the Vio-terminal. So let's go ahead and download this accelerometer library from GitHub. So I will give a link to this URL in the video description, and then you need to download this as a zip file. After that, open Arduino and then go to Sketch, Include Library and add .zip library and locate to the place where you have downloaded the zip file. So this is the zip file that we downloaded. So open it and you will see that the library is successfully installed. So after we have finished installing the accelerometer library, then we need to calibrate the accelerometer. So to calibrate the accelerometer, let's open the Arduino first, go to File, Examples, and go to Accelerometer ADXL335 and from there select Calibration. So this is the code needed to calibrate this sensor in the beginning. Before starting calibration, you need to visit the accelerometer library and then go to the ADXL335.h library file, and then from there change this ADC REF to 3.3 because here we are using the Vio-terminal and the Vio-terminal only handles 3.3 voltages. Here it's set to 5 by default because 5 volt is for Arduino boards. After that's set, go ahead and upload this code to the board. So after you have finished uploading the code, open the serial monitor and then make sure that your sensor is facing up and placed on the table, and press a character and then make sure the X direction is pointing upwards of the accelerometer and then press a character. So after that, you are presented with these values 0x, 0y and 0z. So you need to make sure that you replace the 0x, 0y, 0z in this ADXL335.h by these values. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's replace this with 1.28 is fine, that's the same. So replace this with 1.27 and this should be 1.29 and the sensitivity is 0.30. Now let's save this. So now that you have completed calibrating the Grove analog accelerometer, we will move on to writing our codes to display the accelerometer data as line charts on the Vio-terminal LCD screen. So let's first initialize the libraries. So let's include the accelerometer library ADXL335.h. Then we will include the line chart library because we will be displaying the data on the line chart. Then let's initialize the TFT LCD library and let's initialize the accelerometer ADXL335 accelerometer After that, let's define the maximum size for the data. So max size, let's set it as 50, and let's set a data type as doubles for accelerator readings, and 3. After that, let's create a buffer, sprite spr tft sprite and tft. After that, let's write our initialization codes. So let's initialize the TFT LCD screen by writing tft.begin, and let's initialize the accelerometer dot begin, and then let's set the rotation of the LCD screen, tft dot set rotation, and set it as 3. After that, let's create the buffer, create sprite tft height and tft width. After that, let's write our codes for the loop. So let's begin by filling the screen, spr.fill sprite. I would like to fill the screen in white color. And then let's set the variables to get the acceleration data. So I will set it as float data type, ax equals accelerometer dot get acceleration x. So this will save the x direction acceleration data into ax. So let's set another ay, so that's the y direction. So accelerometer dot get acceleration y. So that's for the y direction acceleration, and for the z direction, az accelerometer dot get acceleration z. So now let's write an if loop. If accelerator reading 0 dot size is equal to max size, then for u int 8 t I equals 0, I is less than 3, and I plus plus. So this loop accelerator reading I dot pop. So this is used to remove the first red variable from this data. So now let's continue writing our codes. So accelerator reading 0 dot push ax. So this will read the x-axis acceleration and store the value in accelerator reading. So next, for accelerator reading 1 dot push ay, that's for the y direction acceleration, and finally accelerator reading 2 push az for the z direction acceleration. So now let's set a line graph title. So we'll comment it, setting line graph title. I will go ahead and write auto header equals text 0 0. So this is where the line graph title starts, and then I will write a title for the line graph. So header dot value, so acceleration readings will be the line graph title, and then header dot align, that is to align it at center. I will write center, and I want to align it in vertical also. V align, so V center. Header dot width is going to be tft dot width, and header dot thickness will be 2. That's the thickness of the header. And header dot height, that's the header height, will be header dot font height times 2, and header dot draw. So I have explained you in my previous video about how to draw line graphs on the VioTerminal LCD screen. So if you go and have a look at that video, you will have a better understanding about drawing line charts. Now let's go ahead and set the line graph. So to set the line graph, we comment it, setting line graph. So auto content equals line chart. So this is where the line chart will begin. So 20 header dot height, and then I will set the height content dot height as tft dot height minus header dot height times 1.5. After that I will set the width content dot width as tft dot width minus content dot x times 2, and I will write content dot based on as minus 2.0. See, so this is a starting point of the y-axis, and content dot show circle. This is the show circle at data points, so I don't want circles to show at data points, so I will set it as false. And then content dot value. So this will pass the acceleration data to the line graph. So we'll start with curly brackets and accelerator reading 0, accelerator reading 1, and accelerator reading 2. After that I will set a color, content dot color, 3 colors for 3 line graphs. So TFT blue for the first one, TFT red for the second one, TFT green for the third one, and then I will write content dot draw, and then write SPR dot push sprite to push this from the buffer to the LCD screen, and let's add a small delay of 50 milliseconds. Now let's upload this code to the board and see the result on the screen. So that's it for this video. If you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated with us. So, see you guys in the next video.